Hello and welcome into another edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hickson. I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI and your host of this daily Sun Devils Insider Podcast. And we are about an hour and a half removed from Arizona State practice officially wrapping up. I believe it was practice number 9 of spring. Uh, another strong start to the week. Uh, we will talk about it in more detail in a couple of minutes, but before then, I wanted to take time to talk about the news that came out last night surrounding Noah Mayusin, the starting shooting guard. Well, at least he's finished the season as the starting shooting guard in Tempe. He entered his name into the transfer portal, and I'd say it's pretty unlikely that he'll come back, but there's always a chance, and I believe that Mayusin is a perfect fit for what Randy Bennett wants to do with his basketball rosters. I think that Noah Mayusin has a chance to take a major step forward as a player, specifically on offense next season. And I think that he probably would have a pretty reasonable shot at being a starting guard once again on the 26-27 team. But you never know what's going to happen with Dylan Shaw and Mikey Lewis perhaps in the fold as well. Uh, I hope Noah comes back, but I have my doubts now. And wherever he goes, best of luck to him. It was great to watch him play for at least 1 year. And um, yeah, uh, let's get into football now. So, day one of spring practices, week four of those practices. Uh, this was the defense's best day in quite a while, if not the entire spring. Kenny Dillingham did really iron down that point that he was much more pleased with what he saw from the defense today than he has been previously. And there are a few standouts that I really want to point out in a moment, but uh, most of all, the Sun Devils really ramped it up physically once again today. I think it was pretty physical on Saturday during the scrimmage. I think it was physical once again today. Uh, and it's good that the offense and defense are playing something of tug of war right now. The offense really maybe only had one explosive play all day. Um, Kyson Brown looked impressive in the passing game. Cutter Boley continues to look sharp in the reps that he gets. And worth noting, offensive lineman Jermaine Mitchell, the number one JUCO recruit in the 2026 class, was in action for 11 on 11s today for the first time. And he probably will be the starting tackle on one side or the other. I'm not going to put anything in stone yet, but I believe that will be Jermaine Mitchell and either Jalen Clem or Champ Westbrooks on the other side. Um, AJE is another player that continues to impress me. He didn't do anything crazy during practice, but he does the little things, and you see how much he's grown just by those little subtleties like blocking, like his precision and route running. There are things that you look at and you're like, wow, this guy really is coming around as the total package of a player. And I'm excited to see what he does this season at tight end, whether he's the starter or not. He is in line for a bigger role. Now, the main topic of focus today was the defense. We got to talk to linebackers coach AJ Cooper, and that is perfect for discussing the standouts in today's practice. Most of all, Owen Long, I think that there's a very, very, very strong chance that Owen Long has been the most consistently impressive player on the defensive side of the ball for Arizona State this spring. Ashton Stamps, Rodney Bennett Jr., Jalen Thompson, the edge rusher coming in from Michigan State, have all had very strong moments, along with safety transfer Josiah McGrew and Lyric Rawls from Kansas. All those guys have had very strong springs, but Owen Long looks like Keyshawn Elliott plus plus, like a double plus squared, whatever you want to say about it. His IQ is absolutely off the charts. He's in the middle of almost every play, blowing up a play. His anticipation is incredible. His athleticism is much, much stronger than you would anticipate. And he has been praised by Cooper. He was praised by Cooper a lot during media availability. Cooper talked about how uh, he has familiarity with Owen Long and that Long has played in a system similar to Arizona State previously, which has made it easier for him to transition to this defense. And you can see it on the field. He's just a very impressive player. And I think Arizona State's linebacker group has been the most underrated position on the team for multiple seasons now. Now I don't even know if it's underrated because I think people are starting to realize how good Owen Long, Martell Hughes, Cyrus Fiasayu, and everybody behind them can truly be. Uh, and that's pretty wild that we haven't even talked about Martell or Cyrus yet. But Cyrus has really started to jump off the page once again, especially the last two practices. And something else of note on the defensive side of the ball, Clayton Smith took his first defensive reps of spring. Coach Dillingham did say that the plan is to utilize him only on defense the rest of the spring. The main purpose of him playing offense at what and wide receiver over the last couple of weeks has rested in their desire to get him familiarized with the uh, lingo, the uh, cadences, the terminology, all of that stuff, and they feel confident that he has grasped enough of that that they can move him back to defense and put an extra body on the line. Uh, as for the defensive side, the other big development on the defensive side of the ball lies in Zach Swanson. Swanson did suit up for practice today. I didn't get a chance to see how much he participated, but it wasn't in 11s. But he was in uniform and it didn't look like he was wearing a walking boot. So that's a very strong sign. I think Arizona State very much needs both Swanson and Mykel Gardner this season, if possible, alongside CJ Fight, who is making a slow return back into action. As for players wearing the green jersey today, I believe Rodney Bimage was, but he was still participating. Um, Boogie Wilson continues to be out, but I think that he's so familiar with the defense now and so established that he doesn't even really need to participate this spring per se. Um, yeah, those are the main points that I have from today's practice, and I kind of wanted to close out today's show discussing what to expect on Thursday. So I think we're going to continue seeing a relatively split snap share at quarterback between Cutter Boley, Mikey Keene, Cam Dyer, and Jake Fetty. I think that Boley continues to distance himself quite a bit, so that's going to be interesting to. That's obviously going to be something to watch every single practice. Um, I think the wide receiver position still a very crucial spot. I think Omarion Miller and Reed Harris are very likely to be starters, but who complements them, especially knowing that Derek Eusebio's out as well. Um, and I think that seeing Clayton Smith in the new edge group alongside Jalen Thompson, Marion Winston, uh, Albert Smith III, Ramar Williams, I think that's going to be a very interesting thing as well because he's really the veteran in the room. He's the guy that's been there the longest. And yeah, that's really all I have for today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into another edition of the podcast. Couldn't do it without each and every one of you supporting me every day. And stay tuned for updates surrounding Arizona State basketball's transfer portal season, as well as the closing run of Arizona State spring football practice. And thank you so much, and I will see you with another episode tomorrow.